racing rides, people, and places. With your hosts, Brad Banshaw, Matt DeAndrea, and Aaron Hagar. New media for a new type of motorsport enthusiast.
Hello. Welcome to Shift and Steer. Brad's not hosting the show today. I'm going to be hosting the show. Brad's chilling out by the pool at the, is it called the swimming hole? Looks like the swimming hole.
Swimming hole.
Swimming hole, man.
What?
Right.
Well, welcome to the party, pals.
Brad sounds like he's already liquored up.
What's going on? Brad's connection is a little wonky, so we're gonna give it a beat. Brad, where are you? What are you doing?
All right. Well, be ready for anything because I'm by the pool at the resort in Las Vegas because I'm here today because Mikey and Sam are playing their last week in Vegas. So I had to come over to see them play.
Okay.
And the same thing. If you see all this strange woodwork behind me, I am in Dad's office at his suite in Vegas. Same thing to see and hear them on their residency show. So pretty excited.
I heard the shows are going well. He's had a couple of friends and guests pop in, and then if you follow everybody's social media accounts, I see that, like, I guess a couple of days off, like during the week, your dad just flies home back to California and Mikey stays at his coach in Vegas. So he's got his feet kicked up in the desert making barbecue and cocktails. And your dad gets to go home when he wants to, I guess. He's not a camper.
Totally. Like their stuff is still here. I mean, there's like little notes all over saying, don't touch this, leave this, don't touch this. It's like, okay.
Oh, right. Like for housekeeping coming in if they fly home for a couple of days. Yeah.
Yeah. There's like some hollandaise sauce in the fridge. I'm like, what are you going to do with that in 5 days? Ew. It's a facial. It's a facial.
But that's kind of the luxury of doing the residency in Vegas. I maybe it was like an interview or something that your dad did recently, obviously doing a lot of press around the show as well, going, I'm no spring chicken anymore. And having the idea of just like going and doing a residency allows me to do a lot of shows without the torturous part of being on the road all the time. And I get it. There's a video that your dad posted of, maybe it was a while ago when they were doing the big nationwide tour or whatever, that we saw them out here. I went and saw them at was it Kia Forum? I don't know what it was, somewhere down here in Inglewood. And it was a picture of like your dad does the set, and then like one of the songs Mikey sings, and your dad goes back, and Kari's there just like with ice packs on his knees, and he's drinking his water. And
well, in some of his stuff, the last shows, I saw he had his knee brace on his left knee. His left knee's been giving him trouble. But I mean, this is such a great idea for Dad. I love it. I mean, he's in the lap of luxury here in Vegas, doing a residency, letting the fans come to him, have a place to stay and something to do in town while they're here. Cabo is amazing, and he does his Cabo shows too. But to be on tour for Dad, it's hard. Not everybody realizes how difficult touring is on anybody, but especially someone of getting in his years. It's just hard. Plus, with his lifestyle and his health and flying, he's a hard singer. And everything's in his sinuses and in his head. So when you're flying like that constantly across the country and being in different environments all day, you get sick, and Dad doesn't like to cancel shows. So this is a much more controlled environment, and it's easy to get to, and it's accommodating as hell. And sorry about the echo.
Mentioned that about Mikey, and Mikey could have been holed up at the MGM, but he has a place over here at a luxury motor coach resort that's got a pool and a clubhouse, and he bought the owner's place. So his lot is what the developer had, and it's huge, and it's it's bitching. I mean, it's got an outdoor kitchen to die for. It's got a big water area, and then his coach pulls in. He pulls out all the canopies, and this is for him. This is heaven because he gets to come over and use it and actually stay here, not come over for a week and then leave again. And
so cool.
I talked to him yesterday. I go, "What are you doing?" He goes, I got a guy here. He's detailing the coach. He's got a big motor coach that does not ever get dirty. If there's dew or every time he gets here, he has a guy come out and detail it. Every time he gets home, he has a guy come out and detail it. I told him they're going to rub the paint off the damn thing.
But that's all right. He'll repaint it.
Yeah, right. But that's so important. That's his home. And you keep your home clean, you keep your house clean, you vacuum the inside and clean the windows and keep it tidy. It makes sense.
I mean, you guys will find out more tonight when you go to the show, but you're right, Aaron. It just seems like for both those guys that we've seen and everybody being in one location and doing these shows, the energy is high. These guys are having fun and like they just seem to be crushing it out here.
Yeah.
When I went to the show, Tammy and I went to the show out here, and I think it was one of the last shows of the tour that he did. And it was funny. He came out. It was a great show, and your dad was running around on stage the whole time. Didn't need to, but he was. And he's always like signing stuff. He's always like grabbing all this signing stuff all the time. But he got up there and he was like, "Oh, it's great to be here in Southern California." He goes, "We did a summer tour," and he goes, "and we just realized now that it's like almost every one of our venues was outdoors, and it was like 110 degrees because we were in Colorado, we were in Arizona, we were in Northern California. It's like so to be here in Inglewood and be inside with the air conditioning." He goes, "This is going to be such a good show."
Wow.
Yeah. He was right. It was fun.
Dude, I don't know how many people that this holds.
It's going to be a great show tonight. And like you said, Matt, the energy's high. I'm gonna see Mikey in a little bit here and get the lowdown before the show, and then looking forward to it, man.
Cool. And so apologies, because Brad and I are both in Vegas, but we just couldn't coordinate to meet up this morning. Our cars kind of locked away, and he's way out in the desert. So so we both went remote. Otherwise I'd be dabbing the sweat off his brow right now.
What we didn't hear you, Brad.
I said it would have been like a reunion tour, but it didn't happen.
Yeah, true. So apologies for that.
So we missed you, Aaron, the past couple of weeks, and we probably had a little fun at your expense. Maybe not. Maybe not.
That's why I haven't listened to the shows. I still like you guys. I want to still like you guys.
But you've been on kind of a whirlwind of stuff on the road, but really the rally that you were leading up to, and you guys were thrashing to get stuff done, and the artwork and the charity stuff. And I've been following, if you guys haven't already, to follow Aaron on his social media, you can kind of get a recap of all the wonderful videos to give you an idea of some of the cars and some of the places you guys stopped and some of the fun stuff. But if you can think back as far as 2 weeks ago, tell us a little bit about it.
Anything you want to add first, Brad?
Make sure you mention the name of the event.
Oh, yeah. Yes, sir. Well, gentlemen, yeah. So my friend Rick Hoffman and I, childhood friend of over 40 years, we started the Napa Valley 750 together. And along with a whole crew of talented people, it gets put on every year around April or May, depending on the conflict. So this year, the California Melee was our conflict. So we had a couple folks not attend because, of course, that is the rally of all rallies. Ours is very different. It's just a charity rally. It's not timed, but it is 750 miles, Napa Valley 750. It also reflects the 750 liter bottle. which is known in the world of wine, which I actually just learned.
Yeah, I didn't even put that together. That's
I never did either. I'm like, but yeah, it's a big deal for us, and it's a lot of work. I was very busy doing art. I did 4 pieces this year for the rally, which I'm really proud of, and I think they turned out really well. And thanks to the generosity of the team, they did very well, and they contribute to the St. Helena Memorial Hospital in St. Helena, which is kind of where our foundation is, and it's all run out of the Harvest Inn in St. Helena. So all of our guests stay there, and then each route goes from there every day. So it's really, really cool. But Rick has so many great relationships with so many people in the area. He's a hotel owner and restaurant owner and developer, and he's just so brilliant. And so we have like dinners at these and lunches at these amazing wineries and places, some of which don't even offer it, so he'll have another friend chef cater it, and it's so much privilege. It's ridiculous. But we're bringing a lot of folks out from Colorado they all do the Peak to Peak rally together. So we wanted to show them what the California coast and wine country was like. So Rick knows how to wine and dine these folks, that they're all very well to do and just the coolest people. We joke that it's a blue jeans and cowboy boot affair. We're talking just really low key. Pretentious isn't even in the vocabulary of these folks, and they're giving to a cause that's not local to them, which is a big deal. We do have some locals, but I'd say a majority of them are from out of town, and they're supporting a local charity, which is really, really cool. And in this world, I guess that's a really big deal. If we go to Colorado and we support Colorado charities because that's where everybody lives, that makes sense. But we're asking them to come here and support ours, which is really cool. But yes, amazing cars this year, amazing cars every year, a couple repeats. But we had some really interesting things that I had never known about. So we had a 914-6R. Do you guys know? Have you seen a 914-6R Porsche?
I've not seen an R.
So it's a factory race spec 914 back in the day, and correct me if I'm wrong, I think 8 were made and imported to the US or less. Okay. Really, really rare. But I followed this thing half the damn rally, and that thing stuck like glue, man. That no body roll, no lead, big fat tires in the back, running rich as hell, burned my eyes. And it was wonderfully brutal. But so yeah, some just beautiful, beautiful cars. We had an old Aston Martin DB4. Convertible, a bespoke car that was just stunning and smooth as glass. I drove it for a moment. At the end of the rally, we do a group photo. So while everyone's getting ready for dinner and having drinks, Kevin Jonas and I, Rick's son Jonas, and I move cars around and get them all lined up. And so I drove almost everything there. And several of these cars are $1 million, if not multi-million-dollar cars. So I'm always a little nervous. Wear my best shoes, my softest pants, and try to get in and out. No
blue jeans.
Yeah, right. Wear my studded Levi's, and try to get in and out with grace and not leave any lines. But yeah, so I got to drive that briefly, and oh man, it's like butter. Absolutely just like butter. But we had a beautiful old Lancia Amelia, I think it was called. Just some amazing cars that you just don't see outside of like a concourse environment, and these folks are driving them rain or shine. It's we had good weather this year, and of course we drove the Mini and the Morgan, and the Morgan was great. We only drove it one day just because it was inland and it was kind of warm, so we took it on another route. But
and the belt held up.
The belt held. I gotta say, other than a little vibration, they have a Sentra drive, much like a motorcycle rear wheel has those little rubber triangles in it to kind of like a cush drive. They have a Sentra drive like that, and I think it's starting to go. The rubber gets hard and brittle, and it starts to deteriorate, and it causes a lot of vibration, which I'm getting. So I have to look into that. But yeah, it drove fantastic, and I was really impressed. But man, that Mini. So Jeremy Thorpe of Jet Motor Mini in Oregon, we shipped the Mini to him for a long time, and
Yeah, I remember.
and he just went through it. And man, I am so impressed with that car. I raised it up a half turn, which would have been maybe a half inch max, just to give a little more compliance on the road because I knew it was going to be rough. Um, and man, it just there's nothing else I need to do to that car. Like there's nothing else. It is damn near perfect, and I could keep up with anyone, even at speed. Like at speed, those little minis with the 13-inch wheels, that they're a little squirrely, but it did well. I just made sure my inputs were really, really conservative and slow. But man, anything under third gear and under, it's just a beast. I mean, it was incredible through some of those canyon roads at low speed, just second, third gear, just ripping through. It stuck like glue. Yeah. And I even kept up with the 914 easily.
I mean, if you think about it, you watch the videos like at Goodwood and you see guys out there in big horsepower cars and those minis can just stick and they're small and so light and you could just hit the corners like just wide open and you just see them. You're like on the straight, you see the big horsepower cars pull away. And then when they hit like that chicane at Goodwood, that mini just goes like a straight line. It just threads a needle, goes right through there and just it's passing like things 4 times its horsepower. It's just an incredible little car to see on a track. So I'm sure the canyons were super fun.
Well, just like what you said in your film with Paul Newman, it's about carrying speed. It's driving a slow car fast.
Yeah.
The Mini's quicker now, so it's we did a 52 millimeter throttle body up from 48, and we did a Cooper S top end and all this stuff. So
yeah, I was gonna say, did you change the cylinder head?
yes, so we did a Cooper S,
Yeah.
a cylinder head, a certified, real deal, serial number. So it's now officially licensed Cooper S, which were much like AMG used to be, and Alpina and Roush, and some of those you couldn't buy them from the factory. You couldn't order them from the factory, but you could buy the conversion from the dealership. That's how this was. But yeah, so it's a lot quicker. It's about 100 horsepower from about 42 horsepower, so it's a lot quicker. But yeah, it carries speed like no one's business, and it's interesting because a lot of the time I didn't even have to like bravely touch the brakes. I just had to let off, and it's got a lot of torque, so it'll slow down from torque, and then you just turn in. But I'd have to talk about a beat. I'd have to count in 1 or even 2 before my turn in, because the footprint of the car is so small that it takes a different line. And if you turn in where you would normally turn in a car that has some body roll and some hesitation, you're right over the middle line in the middle of the road. So you have to wait that little extra second or two, and then it turns in so fast. And then most of the time, because it's so small, I didn't even have to correct my turn in. So through a 2 apex or even a 3 apex turn, a long turn, I would just hold the wheel and I'd be right kind of wandering in the middle of the lane, and then I'd come in, on the inside at the very end. It was really impressive. It's really fun to drive. Have either of you guys driven a little mini hard like that?
Yes, not quite that early of a mini, I don't believe, but I went out to some track day, and I think we were on Streets of Willow, and somebody had one that was modified a little bit, and we swapped seats. He drove, and then I drove. I did a lap in his mini, so it was kind of yeah, it was fun.
Did you experience that on a turn in? You had to turn in a little later?
So what I noticed just from the wheelbase alone, right? Because the back wheels immediately follow the front wheels because it's not a long car. So I noticed it's a little more go-kart-ish. I know people say that, but like it really is because of the short wheelbase. That there's not, it's funny because when we go up to the track, Adam Kroll has talked about this as well. When he brings like a BRE 510, like a Datsun 510 or his Datsun Roadster, that's a little car,
Yeah.
right? I mean, not quite mini, but he's been in races with the minis, and he's like, I don't know why they got all those goddamn lights. The ones with all the rally lights all in the front. He's like, why are you on Laguna Seca with all those damn lights on? He's like, drives me nuts. The lights are all just like, it's like one of those bugs with the 9 eyes, and it's just like coming right behind him, and it's just all lights. But uh Yeah, I had a little bit of an experience. It's been a while, a little bit of experience.
Well, it's
Actually,
interesting
the
too.
last time I was in the Mini was in Vegas with you, heading out to Pete Brock's house.
Right, that's right. When we took the Mini out,
Yeah.
well, it's front wheel drive too. So as soon as you let off, just to enter the corner, I think you're on the throttle like as soon as you turn in. It's not like you're on the throttle on the way out. It's like as soon as you're turning in, you're back on that throttle and you're driving those front wheels. So it's really cool. Brad, have you driven an old Mini at all?
No, I've never I've ridden in one, but I've never got to get in the driver's seat.
All right. Well,
yet to do it.
I've got to bring it down to SoCal and we'll have to take it out somewhere because you guys have to experience it. It really is. It's so joyful. Yeah. It's so fun. And you're both excellent drivers. So it should be a great experience.
But that being said, you guys had the Aston Martin out there, your cars out there. There was a Daytona, right?
Yes,
Daytona?
yes. So Larry bid on Dad's LaFerrari at Barrett-Jackson.
That's right.
And while we were there, he bought a few Ferraris, but one of them was this yellow Daytona, 1971, 365 GT4, and it's a 4-cam and a 2-seater, and in that fly yellow, I gotta say, it's stunning. I don't care for yellow cars, you guys know that, but
yeah, me neither.
This car in yellow, Matt, is stunning. I mean, it is just stunning. Brad, do you remember this car from Barrett-Jackson?
Oh yeah, that car's made for fly yellow.
It really is.
Yeah.
You know what's funny is originally, so when Rick was in Palm Springs, he's having another one of his cars worked on in Palm Springs, and when he was there, he met a gentleman that used to own a dealership, and he's like, yeah, I used to own that car, blah blah blah, and I own one of these, and Rick's like, yeah, okay, and the guy goes, no, really, he goes, so he invites him into his office and pulls out this old ass from the 70s photo album, right, with the little sticky paper in it, right, and he starts showing these old photographs, and sure enough, this guy used to own that car, and it was a butter yellow. It was like a really nice light creamy yellow. Almost like an old paper yellow, and it had a silver nose, and then it had a strange little stripe down the side. It was a kind of ugly stripe, but sure enough, in those photos, it was the same car. So Larry's considering now if he needs to restore it and put it back to its original color. But in the artwork for the cover, he had won the bid for last year for this year's cover. That's how it works. They bid on next year's cover. So Larry had won the cover, so his yellow Daytona was on the cover. And just a little nod to its history, I made the nose silver. And I was really excited about that. And he's like, hey. But yeah, gorgeous car. And I got to say, it didn't handle as well as everyone had hoped. I don't know if the tires were a little tall or the suspension was a little tired, but everything was rubbing in those corners. So he drove that car very conservatively, and he doesn't. So maybe he drove the car like someone that just spent $1 million plus on a car would, but or close to, I guess. But yeah, he drove it very conservatively. But man, that thing looks and sounds so good going down the road.
Yeah.
Oh, just
a couple of years ago, did you guys have a 275 GTB in the group?
So thank you. So Rick's main rally car that he uses is a 275 4-cam.
Yeah.
And it's not the alloy short nose, but it's just as gorgeous. And yeah, it was there too. And it's also fly yellow. So they were the exact same color. And that's a stunning car. And Rick drives the hell out of that thing, man. I can't believe how hard he drives that car. You want to cringe, but he drives it so well. And he also drives an old, I think it's a mid 60s 365. Yeah, I think it's a 365. It is a 2-door 4-seater. They call it a Queen Mother, and that was his father's car when we were kids. Same thing, man. He drives the hell out of that car. Like all of us are like, damn, Rick. I can keep up in the Mini in the corners, but he's driving that car hard enough that I have to keep up with him in the Mini. Really, really impressive. Rick is a phenomenal driver and very skilled and very experienced.
That's good though, Aaron. Those cars need to be driven. Too many of them are just queens that sit in a garage somewhere or a museum. You gotta see what they can still do, and I love it when people do that.
Yeah, and Rick maintains his. He rebuilds his. He has the Leno philosophy of drive him down, restore him back up. He has the lifestyle to do that. So he really drives them hard. But I'm just so impressed. We're all so impressed at how well he drives those cars. And that's what he says. He goes, I drive them the way they need to be driven. He goes, it's like, but they're so valuable now, and parts, you have to have parts made now. And it's like, do you still want to drive them that hard? I just watched an episode online, and they were talking about that. It's like some of these cars, you can't drive them the way they're meant to be driven. He's like, fuck that. I still do. I'm going to enjoy this car in my lifetime. Okay. I don't know. I open a soda I open a can inside of a towel in Dad's plane. I'm just that guy.
Yeah, right. You're like, I'm gonna open this soda. I'm gonna go to the bathroom and put it in the sink and close the door. You hold the towel over my head and all.
Yeah. And then it's like, wait a minute. Is it true that stuff that comes out the toilet goes out into the air? Can coming down below.
Guys, we got to take a quick break. Hold on. We'll be right back. Okay, so that's the rally, the Napa
Valley
750.
Yeah.
What did you do after that? Because
we
were
went
not here
camping
again.
We went camping up the coast, and got really cold. Yeah, we used our Jeep for the first time in a while.
Yes. Oh, that's right. I saw the videos. I saw Pesto out there.
Yeah. We brought Pesto. What was that, Brad?
I said poor Pesto was freezing.
Yeah, it was pretty cold. Frenchies are Frenchies. They just, they don't do anything well. I love that little dog. We love that little dog, but Frenchies rarely have talent. What you see on Instagram is like a fluke. But yeah, so we just went up the coast, up to Mendocino, Fort Bragg. There was a little camping spot that we've driven past a few times that you can go right down on the beach. I forget what the little town's called. Hopefully I'll think of it, but it's right up near there. And so we just found a little spot by the creek, oddly enough, because everybody was out by the ocean, and it was cold and foggy there. So we just nestled in by the creek, along with a couple deer, and it was cool. It was just one night. It was just a quick trip. It's a long haul out there, and part of the rally was on that road. So I'm like, oh, we're here again. And but it is so windy. In the Jeep, in the Mini, it was wonderful, but in the Jeep, it was hard.
Yeah,
it was hard. But yeah, I'd recommend anybody who wants to just take a little spin up the coast. There's so many little parks and little places you can camp out. You can either camp in a tent or camp in a rig, and they have RV hookups, and we don't mind. We don't mind. There was a nice bathroom, within walking distance with a shower, and fuck, I'm mid-50s. I've traveled the world. I've backpacked it everywhere. I want a camping spot with a nice bathroom and a shower.
Yeah.
No offense, but I'm over it. I'll rough camp a little bit, but
So you guys drove out there. Everybody drove. Brad, did you drive out to Vegas?
Yeah, I drove over. Yep, drove over, and it was really simple. I kept knocking on wood because it was one of these trips where there wasn't a ton of traffic. I was surprised.
Wow. Man, surprised. Was it really windy, Brad? We hit tons of wind and snow and rain, and
it wasn't really windy till we got right to town, and then it got really windy. But today it's beautiful.
Yeah, it's beautiful today. It's nice out there.
Aaron, you missed it last week, but it was a sad day when we had to report that Brad's longtime vehicle, I think it was a rear main seal, blew a rear main seal, and it's going to cost a fortune to fix. So I think he's going to just park it in the neighbor's lawn and let it drip oil into the ground, and then figure out what to do next.
It's a big Chevy 454 rear main seal too.
Yeah, it's and plus it needs cats, plus it needs a tune-up, plus it needs tires. So it's outlived its usefulness.
Yeah, there comes a time. Well, you know what? And now just throw an LS in it, and some of our friends' suspension and chassis, and just put that repurpose that old body.
I would like to, but that old body.
I know.
Going on. So
I'm teasing. You know what you can do, Brad? Just take all that out and make it a trailer.
There you go. Well,
yeah.
I thought I could live in it. I could just curb and live in
it. Convert it. Yeah, just cut it off from the front seats forward, and weld up the doors and make it a trailer.
Oh, now. Then you know what would happen is the rear end would probably go.
Yeah, right. Well, then tow it from the front end. Turn it around. No, you do a solid rear. You just do a solid rear on that, and you're fine. Oh, look at Brad. Brad. You were frozen in laughter. It was perfect, Brad. You're
right. So, am I frozen again?
You're good. You're good.
Hey, but yeah, so it's time to retire the big Yukon XL. Unfortunately,
that's too bad. Well, it's got a nice paint job. It'll look good sitting around. Yeah.
Charlotte asked me, she goes, "What are you going to do with it?" And I go, "I don't know yet." And she goes, "Brad, you're not keeping it around. Not enough."
just paint worldwide. So it's good looking. It's a billboard. Just park it somewhere. Bonneville worldwide.
Yeah. Can you hear that siren in the background?
No.
I have no idea what it is, but it's louder than hell.
No, the AI is muting out all other sounds other than your voice.
I think they started blowing leaves by the pool.
Oh, Bradley underscore.
Brad, tell us what's going on with the new shift and steer in 5 thing that you're experimenting with.
Yes, shift and steer in 5. I'll tell you what I like is that we're getting more reactions to shift and steer in 5 than you guys been giving us on the regular show, which we appreciate because we asked for your opinions. And I had one person that messaged us and said, "I love it. I can listen to shift and steer now multi times a week on my way to work." Another one just said they dug the fact that it was quick and easy. And then I had another one that just said, "Hey, it's number 1." And I was like, "Wow, cool. I dig that." But what we're experimenting. And if you've noticed, it's we've done some experimentation with, an alternate host and things like that. But I'm trying to get Matt and Aaron so that we would have 3 times a week a shift and steer in 5, some headlines to keep you informed all through the week. We're not going to, our regular shows to be here every Friday, but it's really going well. We'd have a Matt version, an Aaron version, and a Brad version, then our regular show. And, it's been a great response so far. We really appreciate it. There's been as many people listening to the shift and steer in 5, the 2 episodes we put up, as the regular episodes. So that's great.
It makes sense because sometimes you just don't want long format. I mean, if I've got 15 minutes, and I want to decompress and watch a YouTube, I don't watch a 40-minute YouTube unless I'm going to finish it later. I look for something in shorts, and I'll catch up on a few things and then go do what I got to do. So the short format's good. Thank you.
What do you think, Matt? What do you think about? I want to get you on the mic and get you to host one.
Yeah, I'm down. We should do it. I like the idea of doing experimenting with a couple of short shows, like you're saying, like that short content hits. Yeah, we'll polish it up. We'll figure out what the right format needs to be.
It's one of those things just to give, and we try and give a variety. There's usually something about new cars, something about hot rods, and something about an event. That way we give them a real good variety of things.
Yeah. Oh, speaking of which, my friend Roby is interested in letting Jungle Jim go. So we need to talk about that. Maybe the Lions Museum, and try to find a good home for Jungle Jim. And I don't know. Sorry, I don't know why that reminded me, Brad, but it reminded me. Yeah. So let's keep an ear out for that, and see if we can find the Vega Jungle Gym that was burned, half one side of it's burned I think it sits on Prudhomme's old chassis, is going to be up and available coming up here.
Vega drag racer.
Yes, funny car. Very cool. The old Jungle Gym. I mean, nostalgia to the max. Very, very, very cool.
Yeah.
But he's been harboring it up in Tahoe for a lifetime, and I think he's finally ready to move on and let it go to a good home. But it's not going to be cheap. But let's see if we can make it work for him.
Yeah.
Now that's a really cool body. That was the Vega body, right?
Yeah, the Vega body's really cool.
Yeah. That's and it would, it's got history. It's people can go back and look at when it burnt and things like that. That's kind of cool.
I'd say leave it alone. He wanted me to help him restore it years ago, and I just kind of wanted to leave it alone. Yeah, there it is. Look at that. That's it. So I think the right side is the one that burned. I think it's facing out of the garage, if I remember. I have a picture of it in the garage years ago, but I'll share that too. But yeah, that's it. And I don't know its history and how they would swap bodies and chassis, but it has a Prudhomme chassis on it. So one of the ones that he raced, and it's a pretty special car. It's got a lot of history. Yeah, that thing's so cool. Looks half that way.
Yeah, half that.
Jungle Jim was such an icon of the sport.
Yeah.
And Jungle Pam, who used to come out and line him up on the line and everything.
Yep.
And so many people remember that.
Exactly. So I thought maybe if we can't get it in Lions, we can at least put it in the National Automobile Museum in the meantime, so people can see it and enjoy it. Again, it's all up to him, but I'm trying to get him to kind of part with it in stages. Like, well, let's put it in the museum for a little while, and then you can know that it's in a good home, and then you can kind of separate from it a little bit. I mean, it's in his garage. He's in his garage every day, all day long. So it's. He's married to it.
Yeah.
But I don't have any problem with parting with stuff, so I don't understand
that. Brad's hoarding us.
If it was up to Charlotte, Brad's Tahoe would be the next item for auction on Win Brad's stuff.
Charlotte might just include Brad. Who knows?
We just had a discussion the other day about all my stuff, and she said, "When are you going to get rid of it?" I go, "What do you mean?" She goes, "You've collected it all these years. Now it's time to get rid of it, right?" And I go, "What?" It's like,
well, I get it. Like stuff that's been in a box, it's like you need to rotate it out. If we were as organized as we said we were going to be all those years ago, we would have had stuff that we display. And then when we want to refresh and we want to freshen that up a little bit, you rotate it out like museums do with new stuff. And it's new because it's been in a box for 10 years, and then after you've rotated a couple times, then you let it go and let someone else enjoy it. But if it's been in a box its entire life, you need to enjoy it a little bit and then let it go, because you haven't appreciated it, right?
Rotating out is the right term, as opposed to, say, thinning the herd, because when Brad started Win Brad Stuff, it started as an effort to clean out the shop, to clean out the garage. And then it turned into him just acquiring a bunch of BMX stuff, more BMX frames and BMX parts. And
well, if you've got 10 of something, let 8 of them go.
I think Win Brad Stuff I acquired more than I got rid of, man.
What the heck?
That's not the best plan.
Win Brad Stuff back.
Yeah. Sell stuff to Brad. That's what it became.
Oh, you goofballs.
All right, guys. Is there anything that we're missing? Do you want to wrap this up? You're getting enough. Looks like Brad's getting some sun out there.
Sunscreen, Brad. Sunscreen.
We're doing something and making all kinds of noise, so I think it's easy. Yeah.
Are you going to do any car stuff while you're here, Brad? Are you going to go to any of the experiences or anything fun?
No, not really. I've got I got work to do, man. This is a work day, and then I'm meeting Mike and Sue for lunch, going over to their place, and we're doing some stuff with them. So
All right. All
but
right.
how
Well,
about you got planned?
Dad's gonna fly in the next few hours, so we're gonna grab some lunch. Probably go to the Cobble Wobble and grab some lunch, and then I'll see you later on this evening.
I'll see you this evening for sure, man. We'll hook up, and I got a call from Woody from Jegs.
Oh yeah.
He flew out for the show, and so show we're gonna grab a beer, and yeah, it's cool. So looking forward.
Matt, we wish you were here.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we'll figure it out. I
right.
don't think this is your dad's last show, so
No.
we'll figure it out.
Yeah, there'll be more. There'll be more until
We'll,
there can be no more. Yeah.
we will figure out something. I did. Tammy and I did get the opportunity to see the group in Vegas, and then we saw them out here as well. So we got a couple iterations of the band, and at Barrett Jackson as well. So we got a couple iterations of the groups that he. It's always Mikey, but the rest gets kind of mixed up, and it's fun. It's fun to see different.
Well, Dad's got his cores.
Oh, by the way, congrats to your dad and everybody and that worked on the new song.
Oh yeah.
It's got a couple of million streams already, like in the first couple of days.
Yeah.
And to just do just a tribute song like that and have it do as well as it's doing, that's going to be very exciting.
Yeah, you guys, listen to the song, just for the sake of listening to it. It's got a great backstory, and try to find the interviews where Dad's talking about the backstory, because it really was a dream, and he's kind of uncomfortable with making his dreams public, other than songs that have come from dreams. Well, this is one of those songs that came from a dream, a very special dream, and it took him years to actually manifest it and put it out in the world. And Joe Satriani's son, he did all the cinematography and direction and all the video, and it's like a little film. I mean, it's so cinematic. It's just beautiful. And the imagery together is pretty, with the song is just incredible. It really is. It's emotional though. Expect to bring one of these.
Yeah.
Bring it to two. It broke me down.
I'll load this up on the screen too. So the song is called Encore, Thank You, Good Night. I think people are already just calling it the thank you song.
Yeah.
But find it on YouTube. You can stream it on a bunch of different platforms as well. I'm sure it's streaming pretty much everywhere. But like you said, Aaron, see the video, watch the video. But
watch the video.
You did a great job. It's a tribute to Eddie, and I'm glad it's doing well. And I think it's part of the set list that they're doing out there.
Yes, it is. I actually saw notes in the entryway. So we'll see how we do there. I'm bringing some of these.
No. All right, guys. Have a good time out there. Have fun. I'm sure it's going to be a blast, and we'll get more. We'll see you guys next week.
Yeah. See you next week.
Cool. Thanks, Matt.